So this happened on Halloween when I was about 11. My friend and I decided to go trick-or-treating. I lived in a very nice neighborhood, one of the ones where everyone gives out the full-size candy bars, so it wasn't unusual to have a lot of people come there to trick-or-treat. However, that also meant there's about an acre of front yard for each house, so it took about 3 minutes to walk between each door. It was a good night for Halloween weather-wise, not too chilly, not rainy or anything. It's approaching 8:30 p.m., and after hanging around the golf course and appreciating our candy haul, we decided to start heading home and call it a night. The street I live on is a gigantic U-shape, like a little over half a mile walk from the top of the U down to the bend to the other side. We were walking towards the end of the U, further from my house, as we wanted to take the long way, since it was such a nice night. It's about 9 o'clock p.m. now, so no one else is really out anymore at this point. And people turned off their porch lights, the universal sign for no more trick-or-treaters. That's when we notice a lone white van parked on the street. We made a joke about how it looks of the stereotypical kidnap vans with the painted windows. That's when we notice it shift out of park and slowly creep down the street towards us and park at the next house. Oh, they must have kids trick-or-treating. It wasn't uncommon for people to drive their kids from house to house, since they were so spread out in our neighborhood. But given that it was 9 o'clock p.m. and a night with nice weather, it struck us as a bit odd. We checked every few minutes and it seemed to just be stopping from house to house, like normal. We turned around again and kept walking at a leisurely pace, gossiping and whatnot. That's when we hear the car squeal as it moves forward down the hill and into park again. This time, only about 2 houses away from us on the opposite side of the street. Again, weird time to trick-or-treat, but whatever. That's when we realized there were no kids getting out of the van. Not once. Now this was 2008, so it was before my first phone. We were only 15 minutes from my house, but a bit disturbed, so we walked to the nearest door, rang the bell, and stuck our bags out in an attempt to act normal. A woman opens the door just a crack and proceeds to yell at us for trying to trick-or-treat at this hour. She slammed the door in our face before we could even say a word. Okay, thanks, lady. We turn around and the van is right there, parked in the wrong direction, on our side of the street. The windows are tinted, so we can't even see the guy driving. Trying to keep our cool, we casually walk away from the door and up the street into this cul-de-sac loop that's on the side of the street that makes up the bigger U. If you cut through that loop and hop a couple fences, you can end up at my back door. The van goes the same way. Now we know he's following us, since there's no reason for him to go up this side of the street otherwise. We break into a sprint, and I am by no means athletic, but I hop those fences like an Olympian. We run inside my house, lock all the doors, and freak out while we sit in the front hall. Not 5 minutes later, the van slowly drives down the street past my house. We stress-eat our candy and think of what could have happened if we hadn't been aware of our surroundings. Fake trick-or-treater man with the creepy white van. Let's not meet. So, I don't live in the greatest area, nor in the nicest apartment, so I'm kind of always checking my surroundings when I'm out and about. Nothing crazy, but just being aware of what's going on around me. This being said, The other night I decided that the mountain of dirty clothes inhabiting my closet was bordering on disgusting, and it was time for me to do one of my least favorite chores: laundry. I don't mind doing laundry itself, but the laundry room in this building always gives me the creeps. It's in the dank and dark basement of the building, and you always have to grope the wall for the light switch. It really would make an excellent location for a horror film. So I go down, throw my laundry in the machine, and everything's fine and dandy. Come back 40 minutes later and throw it in the dryer. Nothing out of the usual, yet. An hour later, I go back down to the basement to collect my stuff out of the dryer. Well, when I turn on the light, the dryer door is open and all my shit is strewn about, on the ground, hanging out of the dryer, etc. And to top it all off, they were still wet, which was the worst part because I didn't want to have to keep coming down to the laundry room. Normally, I'd be like, whatever, because sometimes people open dryers and just don't close them. But this really looked like someone rummaged through my stuff. Shrugging this off, I put my stuff back in, and that's when I get such a sharp chill running down my back. Like it was so random, I genuinely felt I wasn't alone. So I turn around, back to the elevator, and all of a sudden I hear the sound of someone frantically running up the stairs on the other side of the room, almost as if they had been spotted. Anyways, I get all my laundry back to my apartment and notice I'm missing some stuff, but at this point, I'm kind of creeped out, so I'm not in the mood to go snooping around, looking for some t-shirts. So I kind of just forgot about it all, until a couple days later when I received an email from our landlord, telling all the residents that a homeless guy not only broke into the building, he performed sexual acts upon himself in the laundry room, and then started a fire and went around the building trying to break into people's unlocked apartments. So I'm guessing this guy went through my stuff, probably took something, and then started a fire for some reason.